the royal experience. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. There are but a few places on earth so special, so unique, and so spectacular, where it becomes the rite of passage for the ambitious travelers, the courageous souls, to all have the one and only royal experience. That day when you look deep into your heart and leap into an ancient world so very different from your own, where magic, beauty, and love are shared forever, then you will have a royal experience. There is just one place on earth where the people make you feel a part of their kingdom, where you just might volunteer to awaken spirits, enrich minds, and work alongside communities to build, motivate, and inspire. This is truly the royal experience. When you dream of a different world, beyond the ordinary, beyond time, discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
This is Eswatini TV News at 8, live from Babane. I am Natilesi Tole alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, here's a look at our top stories. His Majesty King Msati III has commended the good relations between Germany and Eswatini that have contributed to the kingdom's attainment of the United Nations Development Goals. The Deputy Prime Minister's office says government will embark on a 5-year program to eliminate gender-based violence. Clerk to Parliament Benedict Xaba says Msati can work towards amendment of the Senate Elections Act of 2013 to curb bribery. Good evening and welcome to the program. His Majesty King Msati III has commended the good relations between Germany and the Kingdom of Eswatini, where Germany has supported Eswatini in different projects, further contributing to the attainment of the United Nations Development Goals of 2030. His Majesty, who was represented by Prince Mshengu, was speaking at Malandela in Malkans during the National Day of the Federation of Germany.
His Majesty King Msati III has called for more business collaboration between Eswatini and Germany.
We treasure our cordial relations, as it also gives us an added advantage to allow our countries to be open to exploring markets for trade between our countries and continents. Eswatini has strategically positioned itself as a launchpad for the markets in the region, being a member of the different blocs, including SADC, COMESA, and the African Continental Free Trade Area, amongst others.
German ambassador reiterated that country's support for Eswatini.
We demonstrate our commitment to good relations between our countries every day. Our objective is a close partnership with Africa, with Eswatini, to shape our common future think more than ever before, we need cooperation to cope with the challenges of our time.
His Majesty has also expressed gratitude to the European Union, which Germany is a member state of, for the support particularly to sugarcane growers and supporting Eswatini in the education sector, which has resulted in the increase of the literacy rate. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Skhumbuzo Dlamini, Malkans.
The Principal Secretary in the Deputy Prime Minister's Office, Melusi Masuku, says government will embark on a 5-year program to end gender-based violence under the Sub-Regional Gender-Based Violence Initiative. The Principal Secretary said this when giving a report of the United Nations meeting on ending gender-based violence, which was held in Pretoria, South Africa.
Following the launch of the 5-year Sub-Regional Gender-Based Violence Program in Pretoria, South Africa, by the United Nations and countries in the Southern African region, including Eswatini, last week, the Principal Secretary in the Deputy Prime Minister's Office, Melusi Masuku, says Eswatini is more committed to this initiative.
Kuyatholakala ukuthi tigameko tekhlubeteka kwabomake namantombazane tisezingeni elisetulu. So ke bahleli phansi ke laba bakamhlabhlangene babona lokho ukuthi abawabambise lamave lamang lesithupha ukuthi akhona ukuchamuka netindlela etsite tekuaddressa lama issues.
He further says that the initiative was done in collaboration with an organization known as Spotlight Initiative after a realization that there is an increase of gender-based violence, especially among girls in the Southern African region.
Le mali kitawubuka letinhlelo letitawusukunyiswa ukuthi bomake namantombazane labahlukubetekile bangasitakala njani.
For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
In news, Justin, the High Court has found Sipho Shongwe guilty of the murder of Victor Gamete. The judgment was delivered by High Court Judge Justice Ngosinati Masego. The Principal Secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture, Sydney Melane, says there is an influx of scams circulating on Facebook. The PS says these criminals are pretending to be the Ministry of Agriculture, claiming that the ministry has collaborated with the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund to offer financial grants to farmers.
We want to firmly state that this information is false and there are no such grants being offered. The scam requires farmers to click on a link that takes them to an application form which they are asked to download, fill up, and then email to this bogus email address, ps@agriculturegov.com, which is not the Principal Secretary's email address. Please be aware that this form is not an official document from our ministry. Official documents are always presented on appropriate letterheads bearing the coat of arms. Furthermore, announcements from the Minister of Agriculture come through established channels, including radio, TV, newspapers, as well as the official social media pages. Also, our ministry has a clear procedure for payments related to services and will never request payment for us accessing assistance programs. I would like to urge all Msati to stay vigilant and always take appropriate steps to validate information before committing into any financial arrangements related to alleged agricultural grants.
The Central Bank Cross-Border Foreign Exchange Reporting System is meant to collect data on transactions from banks in a more digital way, which will help in informing the bank's policy, enhancing ease of doing business, which will in turn help in economic development. The Deputy Director for Financial Surveillance, Zandile Melane, said this when giving details about the reporting system.
In its 2022-2023 annual integrated report, the Central Bank of Eswatini states that it is implementing a cross-border foreign exchange reporting system, version 3. The Deputy Director for Financial Surveillance, Zandile Melane, gives more details about the system.
The Central Bank, just like other peers in the region, for a very long time have been operating under an exchange control regime, meaning that most transactions would be approved or be sent to the central bank for approval before they could be effected by the banks. We are migrating from that environment to a financial surveillance environment where we are relaxing these controls just to make sure that there's ease of doing business in the country. And the policy decisions that we are referring to talk about the level at which you can relax those controls, which is largely informed by the policy decisions that we take from the data that is coming from the market.
This is one way the central bank tries to make the financial sector more stable, as it has also embarked on the national payment switch system, which will make sure that transactions are more easy even among businesses in the country. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
The Clerk to Parliament, Benedict Kaba, says Msati can work towards the amendment of the Senate Elections Act of 2013 to curb issues of bribery. Msati, with concerns and proof of Senate seats bribery, should report to the High Court.
Following allegations circulating in different media platforms that some members of the August House received bribes from potential members of the public to be nominated and elected as senators, the Clerk to Parliament, Benedict Kaba, in a press meeting said during the election process, such allegations were never brought to Parliament, nor were they forwarded to the Clerk of Parliament, who is the returning officer.
Such allegations were never brought to the Parliament, nor were they forwarded to the Clerk of Parliament, who is the returning officer. The Senate Elections Act of 2013 empowers the returning officer to oversee the smooth conduct of the elections. Now that we have completed the election process and the result duly announced in terms of the Senate Elections Act of 2013, any aggrieved party or person may approach the High Court.
The clerk also said reforms can be done on the Senate Elections Act.
Ngathi mina kusesivene ekutheni asisinyalo sibuye sisinomthetho awulungiswe kusale kubuya kuvotwa public vele kusimakuvotwa nalandle ngoba labahlonishwa ngesikwakhona mabavote basuke bathunywe kule nkundla yakho akuthi lo 5 years uma siva kuthi the Senate Elections Act lena ungazothi isiyese ehlathini noma ipromote corruption noma ayikhona kuba kuveta esobala kuthi kukhetheke kanjani so ayivele ibukedwe ilungiswe sibe nalomusha umthetho.
The clerk says individuals with concerns and proof of bribery may report to the Royal Eswatini Police Service or the Anti-Corruption Commission. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza with Zikumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Director of Water Affairs at the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy, Makosini Koza, says with rain showers being recorded by the country, Msati must collect enough water for future use. The Director says local dams have been checked for water storage readiness.
It's very, very crucial that as rural households, at a rural household level or at other areas, we make use of the rooftop water harvesting techniques, collection of the water through our gutters into either our plastic tanks or in our drums or whatsoever container that we may have. But we should be in a position to make sure that those containers are clean so that we are able to collect water which we can use for our domestic needs and also for our backyard gardens. We do have some storage reserved for these rains to receive at this point in time. And we hope that in future, as we are approaching the winter or as they've already indicated that we might have El Nino and other dry spells, we hope to collect as much as we can enough water for our future use, more especially in terms of drought.
The Eswatini Sugar Association says it will support smallholder sugarcane growers and ensure that they reach their potential and meet quality standards of sugarcane produce. The Sugar Association CEO, Banile Nyamane, was speaking when unpacking the smallholder sugarcane farmers competition and how they plan to assist them.
The intention of the competition is to award some of the 411 small growers who have done well in terms of increasing their productivity in terms of the sugarcane that they've produced. We also encourage them to grow the sugarcane sustainably as it is now becoming a requirement across the world. So it will be 411 growers that will be eligible, but only 30 are going to be awarded for various categories that we have been measuring over the past season. We are looking at awarding a grower who has produced a sugarcane that has got the highest sucrose content. We are also awarding in some of the categories growers who have consistently over the years maintained their productivity. We also award the growers that follow all the sustainable or all the benchmarks that have been set in order for a cane grower to follow when producing sugarcane. It is very critical for the association that we continue supporting them. We have embarked on a process to attain certification for the standard called Bonsucro. The standard is now becoming a requirement by the buyers of sugar across the world. We have started with the large-scale growers because there are cost implications involved in making sure that the grower is ready to be certified. We will then proceed to assist the small cane growers in order to make sure that they are also accredited under the Bonsucro standard.
And now let's have a look at our financial indicators.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Moving on to sports, we begin with the launch of the second edition of the Highway Covenant Tabernacle Church Half Marathon that will be held in Mankayane on the 9th of December this year, with different distances of 21 kilometers, 10 and 5 kilometers being the stages of the event. Sabelo Kumalo from the Highway Covenant Tabernacle Church believes this is in line with encouraging church members to exercise regularly and keep healthy. The launch was held in Babane.
Begin our sports roundup with the launch of the second edition of the Highway Covenant Tabernacle Church that will be held in Mangayane on the 9th of December this year, with different distances of 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers and 5 kilometers being the stages for the event.
Baka-health bayabasitshele about lifestyle diseases nabasebenzisa their technical term bathi non-communicable diseases lokusho ukuthi tifo letibangwa i-unfitness of the physical body. Letifaka ekhatsi some forms of cancer, tifaka ekhatsi bo hypertension, bo diabetes and many others lesingeke siwabale. So as a church we are saying let's come and attend to imtimba yethu siyishukumise.
Eswatini Athletic Association has fully pledged their support to the event.
We want to pledge our full support as Athletics Eswatini. And as far as all the technical issues are concerned, the Federation will be there to assist and to ensure that when people come, they have a good experience. We are happy to be coming from Imbube, a marathon. we want to encourage Banfu out there to continue with this.
Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council, alongside the Eswatini Olympic Commonwealth Games Association, have also fully pledged their support towards the half marathon. Moving on to our other news, Jason Martin, who is one of the local skateboard coaches, he believes with enough support, the sport can grow and also dominate other regions of the country, following the positive reaction noted in the capital city since the sport was introduced.
Skateboarding has so many broad aspects. For me personally, and the NGO that I run, Msati Skate, what we try to instill here into the kids is youth development and women empowerment. So we've been trying to, our goal is to help kids progress and grow in not only their skateboarding ability, but in their everyday life. Their commitment to wanting to do something, teaching them about how failure is part of a progressive state, and it's not only about success, but once you've done 100 falls to get one success, you still got to take that a step further in order to be able to push yourself to the next level. And that's what our goal is here, being able to give kids that confidence to say that it doesn't matter how many times I've fallen, I'm going to get back up and try again. The main goal is to be able to get this as far and to as many points of the country as possible. However, as this is the first development in the country, we want to maintain doing something here and being able to understand how the programs can work and being able to maybe reach out to those communities and bring them here so that by the time we are ready to go and do little builds and developments in their communities, we now have a firm ground on how the maintenance work, how the progression works, and how we can handle working with kids on different levels.
In our international news, the city of Brussels came to a standstill when shots were fired, which saw the game between Belgium and Sweden under the 2024 Euro qualifiers being abandoned. Swedish supporters were reported to have spent the night under the protection of police. Lastly, under cricket, Australia have won their first 2023 Cricket World Cup game after defeating Sri Lanka by 5 wickets. Next in line, they face Pakistan on Friday. For Eswatini TV Sports, Robinson Sonera, Babane.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our headlining stories this evening. His Majesty King Msati III has commended the good relations between Germany and Eswatini that have contributed to the kingdom's attainment of the United Nations Development Goals. The Deputy Prime Minister's office says government will embark on a 5-year program to eliminate gender-based violence. Clerk to Parliament Benedict Xaba says Eswatini can work towards amendment of the Senate Elections Act of 2013 to curb bribery. And with that, it's a wrap. Up next is the weather update from myself and the team. Many thanks for your company. Take care.